This week's tip shows a roll bar that we're fabricating for a Torino convertible. This is a mock-up in conduit, just to get a rough idea of what we're looking for in the basic shape, especially around where the seat goes so it fits the seat real nice on the sides. We'll take a look at the side of it. A certain thickness width is what we're looking for a certain desire of the car. And you can see we put a piece of tubing, we're going to flare it out, and it sits in the car right about there, right above my hand. And that's what we're going to mock up. We got to make it now out of chromoly. We've made a jig on a table, and we use a rosebud torch and heat it little by little so we can get our shape. We start with the tubing clamped in place, and we just heat it to where it gets the shape, which is the same radius as the roll bar that we were happy with on our mock-up. As you can see, here's one of the tubes. As you can see, I just bent this last piece, and I started obviously up here on the end, and I just clamped it like every 6 inches as I heated it, and that's why you see these last clamps on the end, because I don't need to, as it cools, I don't need to leave them on there. But this is the only way to really bend a roll bar tubing like this, because the Model 4 bender will put little kinks in it that your typical roll bar has a little, bends in it, and it has that kink look, and we want this to be nice and radius to fit the car. It's not a complete circle, so you can't use a roller bender on it to get what you want either. So as you go along, you really have to come up with a jig and hold it in and heat it. And we'll take a look at it welded up. Now here's the bar, the first bar bent. And obviously that we haven't put the legs on it yet for this part, but it's the upper section. And you can see on this one we put a little bit more radius in the center instead of flat like this one, because we felt it was going to look a lot better. When we get it in the car, you'll be able to see it has a lot more radius to it. So a little bit of a pitch. And of course, once we put the two halves together, we had to make the buck to be able to get 4 pieces shaped identical on each corner so it would look identical. And that's what we've done. Now we'll start to weld it and put it together and put it in the car so you can see it come to shape. And we'll just, where you see the tape on this one making the width where we first showed you, that'll be sheet metal. And then we'll put foam on it and then cover it with upholstery.